In part 3 of my series on searching for the ultimate shop light, I want to talk a little bit about what was the inspiration behind my recent designs. It all started when we started making movies, videos, for YouTube, okay? This is about 4 years ago. And it wasn't long before we realized, well, we're going to need some good lighting if we're going to shoot some good videos. And as we were working around the car, we thought, wow, these make great work lights. You know, they have, most of these have multiple rows of LEDs. This one in particular only pulls about 50 watts of power, so it doesn't get hot, it doesn't use a lot of energy, and it has multiple switches on the back which turn on the different rows of LEDs so you can vary the brightness. Now some of these have a rheostat where you can just really fine tune it. And of course, the fancier the light, the more expensive. These aren't that cheap. I think I paid about $150 or $60 for these with the stand, but the stand is adjustable. So when you get under the car, we were working on the car one day, it says, wow, look at this. We can take and put all these lights on, and you can see, you probably can't see that well from that angle, but we can really light up the underside of the car, and it gives us a broad spectrum of light so we can really see what we're doing. And guess what? When you're standing next to it, you don't even feel any heat. So that right away, that was one of the big pluses. And of course, when you bang around on it and knock into it, it's not going to burn those bulbs out. Of course, if you trash it, you can damage the LEDs. But as far as reliability, lack of heat, efficiency, man, this proved to be a great light. Two downsides though. Number one, the cord. Very easy to trip over the cord when you're working around underneath the car. And number two, of course, was the expense. So the more I thought about this, I said, you know, I really need something that I can be a little less expensive for the average DIY mechanic. I can kind of show him how they can make their own ultimate shop light. Let me show you an example of another light I use for filming that also proved to be very beneficial when working on cars, particularly like in the interior of a car. By the way, this one here is my favorite, okay? It's on a dolly. You can see how the dolly operates on caster wheels, so it's very easy to move around. If you're working on the engine compartment, you can just move around the car with it, or when you're underneath the car. You can raise and lower. This one goes real high, so I can get way up over the top and shine down and light up a whole engine compartment with the multiple LEDs. This also has a rheostat control, and it has an option for a battery. But this cost about $450, and I don't think anybody out there is going to pay that much for a shop light to use around their home shop. But I just wanted to show you, this is a great movie light in the way it dissipates the light and spreads it out. That one's okay, but probably not within the criteria I'm looking for. This one was the one that really started me thinking, and this is an amazing little light, this ring light, this LED ring light. It is adjustable with a rheostat. You can see how you can go bright or dim. So we can set the camera and we can actually change exposure to what we want just by you know, increasing and decreasing the light that you see here. But originally this light was $250. It came with a plug, a power cord. It had an option for a battery, but the batteries are very small. It became very obvious if I was going to use this on my tripod moving the camera around, I didn't want a cord, so I decided to use lithium polymer batteries. These larger batteries that I use to fly my RC model aircraft have proven to be ideal to power these LED lights, because a lot of these batteries, the more common ones, are in the 12 to 14 volt range, which is totally acceptable for most of these type of LED lights. But you know, I looked at this and I said, well, we put it on a tripod with a swivel head, which allows me to tip it and turn it and put it exactly where I want to light it. And it's absolutely perfect. I can get this in a car. I can put it between the seats. I can shine up under the dash with it. I can lay it down like this, you know, and turn it on. And if it's too bright, I can just back it down just like that. So there it is, you know. easily rechargeable, inexpensive, very powerful batteries, and no cord and no heat and very efficient. But it's pretty pricey, okay? Now, by the way, please don't ask me where I bought all these shop lights. There's multiple resources on the internet. You just Google movie lights, okay? I bought some of these on eBay. I bought some of these from photo companies or video companies. So I don't have, you know, I've had numerous people say, well, where'd you buy that? Or what's the model number? No, I'm sorry, I just can't, I don't have the time to provide that information. And some of it I don't even remember. But you can look on eBay to find these movie lights if you're so inclined. You can also Google them. There are many, many sources, and there are more and more of these LED movie lights coming on the market today. But once again, they're pretty expensive. So when I finally sat down here a couple months ago, I said, okay, I've learned a lot working with these movie lights. So the criteria are, I need a light that's under $75. I need it to be as powerful, at least as powerful as this one, okay? Has to be LED, has to have a wide beam of light. I don't want a narrow light like a flashlight. I wanted a magnetic base, could have no cord, so that meant it had to run on a battery, and I wanted a type of battery that lasts. Some of these, you know, maybe an hour and the battery runs down, particularly if you have it on maximum brightness. So those were the criteria. I know there's a lot of shop lights out there, and I know a lot of you are going to say, well, you should try this and try that. You know, I've tried a lot of them. I'm not interested in trying any more. I'm interested in having one that's custom made for what I need. Everybody has a little bit different need. And so what I'm going to show you in the next part in this series is the building up of two lights. One would be a light, a handheld light to work in and around an engine compartment, and another would be a light on a stand that you could use for working underneath the car. And in that part, I will go over the process of how I put these together. So stay tuned for the next episode.